Hi there team, Coach Alexa here, coach for Reading, South Oxfordshire and online. I thought I'd give a bit of information about running and fueling your running over Ramadan in this video because it's coming up around the corner in the middle of February this year. Now it involves fasting during daylight hours effectively between sunset and sunrise, and that involves not eating and also not drinking. So if you are doing running training at that time, particularly maybe if you've got a goal race coming up in the spring or early summer, then it can be a little bit of a tricky time to work out how to balance your training. So the thing I would maybe encourage people to think about is how to adapt your training around that month of fasting, because as you've probably seen from a lot of my previous videos, taking on board fueling around your runs and hydrating around your runs is really useful to make sure that the runs go really well. You feel good on the runs, you don't start feeling a bit kind of lightheaded or a bit kind of wobbly or a bit low on energy or mood, and also that you allow your body to recover from those training sessions and adapt to those training sessions really well. So a few things to think about when it comes to planning our training. I guess we broadly speaking got three kind of options around that month of Ramadan as to when you can train. So the first one of which is doing something quite early in the morning before you start fasting. So that involves a bit of an early start, which might not be good, but it might allow you a little bit of time to get some hydration in you, get a little bit of energy, maybe some quicker release carbohydrates in you before you go out for a run, and hopefully also rehydrate and refuel afterwards before you start your fast. Now obviously there's other things around, the meals and timing and prayers and things to kind of plan around, but that's an option. Running in the middle of the day means that you're not going to have eaten from, well, I guess any time during the fasting hours, but an example would be lunchtime, means that you've going for a little bit longer since you've eaten. So you might still have a bit of available energy and hydration, but the levels will be lower. And also then you're not going to be able to rehydrate and refuel afterwards. Later on in the day, obviously, some people from kind of people that I've talked to, runners over the years that I've coached, you don't always feel really kind of like eating too much as soon as you break fast after sunset. So it might be maybe that you can take on some water, you can start rehydrating, you can eat something quite small, quite carbohydratey, get some training and get back, and maybe eat something a little bit more substantial later and continue hydrating throughout your run and afterwards. So options to think about there all come with their own little bits of pros and cons almost, or little bit of considerations and things to think about. So I'd say the biggest takeaway is, it's completely dependent on you. Like a lot of the videos that I in topics that I talk about in these videos, it's a bit about experimentation, particularly if you're training for a new running goal that you've not done before, so a new distance or a particular improvement on a time around doing your fast, or if you're new to the fast, so if you're a younger runner, late teens, early 20s, you've not done that many kind of Ramadan fasts yet, it might just be worth easing your way into things slightly. So from a training point of view, I'd advise cutting back or dropping out the speed work, because the speed work is what really asks bigger questions of your energy availability, and obviously when you're managing around a fast, that energy availability is in general across a 24-hour period going to be lower. And also, if you can, maybe cut back on mileage again, maybe don't be kind of piling on the miles to try and peak distance for a race alongside a fast, because you'll be asking lots and lots of questions of your body trying to do that. Anyway, I hope that's useful. It's a very high level whistle stop tour. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll be able to publish a blog post before the holy month of Ramadan starts. So yeah, in the meantime, drop me a line with any questions, and happy running.